we have the current stock market update for Meta Platforms Incorporated, stock ticker META. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So here what we're looking at is the 1 hour price chart. That means each candle on this time frame represents a 1 hour trading period. I have not made any changes to this chart, including the price arrows that were sort of established here previously, as well as this prior support zone that we were watching. So if we sort of drill in here a bit, we can see that this is exactly where share prices have started to find some support at the moment. Now, so that is telling, because it does tell us that these signals can be highly accurate. But the bounce itself has been a bit weak. So I'm not exactly sure if I am ready to believe that this price level will ultimately hold here. And what we were looking at was for the possibility of a bounce either in the upward direction or the possibility of a downside break here, in which case that would mean that share prices could actually start to fall much further. So, it is interesting that we're starting to see some support here. On the shorter term timeframes, this would be much more obvious. We can probably even look at some of those short-term timeframes quickly. So if we move down to the 5-minute price chart here, we can see that the prior losses that preceded this support bounce here, a bit of a small support bounce, I should say, were quite substantial, at least on these shorter-term timeframes here. So the fact that this Fibonacci level and prior historical support zone was able to catch prices does show that that there was definitely some activity in this area. But as we can see, when we move down to these shorter term time frames here, overall the highs here are a bit weak. I mean, we're starting to see slightly lower highs. This is the 5-minute price chart, so these are all 5-minute candles. But the structure here is starting to present itself, and this is starting to look like we might actually break below here. So coming up with a bounce here could be a bit of a stretch, but we also do have to remember that we're entering into earnings season at this point, and there could be some positive surprises from some of the other Mag 7 companies, and this could ultimately help Meta Platforms find its footing. So there is a possibility here that we could see some alternate viewpoints as far as where the stock actually winds up going. But for the moment, if we do see, we could just as easily see negative surprises as well, of course. So, if this does occur, we're currently holding near the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. And then from there, I think at the very least, if we did see a share price break to the downside, I think at the very least, you would really have to be looking at a test of about 550. The next area that stands out to me here comes in right around 549.50. So this is essentially the area that marks the 50% retracement of this prior trending move. I should explain that as well. I guess I forgot to do that. What we're looking at here is this price low that would have come in near 495.60 and then extend all the way to these all-time highs, which came in above $600 per share. So this is a very important trend wave movement, because this is ultimately what resulted in the stock's all-time highs. So, these are very critical Fibonacci support levels. And if we do see share price breaks below here, that will tell us that some downside follow through is then much more likely. So, currently we're trading right around 567. So we just actually we're getting a close here soon. So 567 at the moment. And it will be interesting to see here if we're able to see some follow through here. This has been a lot of downside price movement. But as I said, the bounce is weak. So the next level that I would be watching to the downside would be the 50% retracement of the price move from 495.60 to 602.90. And then, as I said, that comes in right near 550, really, slightly below there. So, if we did see a break below that point, I would start to watch the 536.90 area as well. Because this would then mark the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement zone, and this is a much more critical level. I should sort of point out here that the 50% retracement is actually not a Fibonacci level. If we have any math majors listening, 50% is not part of the Fibonacci sequence. 38.2, yes. 23.6, yes. 61.8, yes. 78.6, yes. All of those levels are valid Fibonacci retracement zones. But this 50% retracement is really just a charting feature. I mean, I actually haven't ever seen a charting platform that didn't have a 50% retracement, but that's actually not a Fibonacci support zone. So in general, I try not to watch those areas very much. I think that it's better just as a guide, because what that really tells is that, we have a major prior price move, either in the upward direction or downward direction. And then if we do enter into that 50% region, really what that tells me is just that we've given back half of that prior rally. So, in this case, we did see a substantial movement to the top side, but if we do break down into this 550 area roughly, that would then suggest that, we've really only accomplished half of those gains. So that's just sort of how I look at that. Not as much as a critical support zone in the same way that the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement area would be a significant support zone. So currently, the next real level that I would be watching to the downside does come in at 536.90. If we did see a price break below there, I think that's when you start to get bearish on this stock. There would be one more potential level that could ultimately support prices right around 519, 520, but a lot of momentum would be focused on the downside at that point. So, it would be a much more sort of dangerous trading situation for anybody that is currently long this stock. So just to finish out the video here, I will quickly look at the indicator reading, which is actually focused fairly substantially in the downside direction. So that is interesting here because what this tells us is that there's a significant amount of bearish momentum that's currently governing share prices, and that makes it much less likely that we will see a true bounce here from that 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. Just quickly to the top side, just in case we do see some upward price movements here, the first level of resistance that I would be watching comes in right around 585. Almost exactly. I believe this level is 584.99. So this is the price high from October 23rd. And we really do need to see share prices break above there in order to sort of reinvigorate this uptrend and end this series of downtrend price movements that we have been seeing, this series of lower highs that we have been seeing. If we did see a share price break above 585, that would be a very bullish event. And that would suggest that prices are ready to start to test that $600 level once again. So here's the current stock market update for Meta Platforms, stock ticker META. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.